The world is in crisis. The United States and Iran are back in open war. Oil prices are surging, shipping routes are blocked, and from the Middle East to Southeast Asia, lives are being lost. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. In Brazil, a new poll shows President Lula has widened his lead over former President Flavio Bolsonaro ahead of the upcoming elections. The Quest poll indicates that Lula's popularity continues to rise, signaling a shift in the political landscape as the country gears up for critical elections. This trend reflects growing public support for Lula's policies and initiatives aimed at addressing social inequalities and economic challenges. Bolsonaro, on the other hand, faces mounting criticism and declining approval ratings. As the electoral campaign intensifies, the dynamics between these two political figures will shape the future of Brazil. Analysts will be closely monitoring how these developments unfold leading up to the elections, as public sentiment can shift rapidly in the lead-up to voting day. The outcome of this election could have significant implications for Brazil's domestic and international policies. An Israeli airstrike in Gaza has tragically resulted in the deaths of a family, including a man, his wife, and their 6-year-old daughter. This incident occurred amid faltering U.S.-brokered ceasefire talks, further complicating an already volatile situation. The airstrike has drawn widespread condemnation and has escalated calls for accountability in the conflict. As tensions rise, both sides are facing increasing pressure to engage in meaningful dialogue to prevent further loss of innocent lives. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to deepen, with civilians caught in the crossfire of ongoing military operations. The international community must respond to this urgent crisis with compassion and a commitment to peace. Looking ahead, the prospects for a lasting resolution remain unclear, and the situation continues to demand immediate attention. Cuba is facing its third nationwide blackout in just 2 weeks, a situation that has left many citizens frustrated and concerned. Fuel shortages, exacerbated by external pressures and tariffs, have crippled the island's energy infrastructure, leading to widespread outages. This latest blackout is a clear indicator of the ongoing economic challenges facing the nation, as citizens struggle to cope with the lack of electricity for basic needs. The government is under increasing pressure to address these energy shortages and to find sustainable solutions to restore power. As the situation develops, it remains to be seen how the Cuban government will respond to the growing discontent among its citizens. These blackouts not only disrupt daily life, but also have implications for healthcare and public services, raising urgent questions about the stability of Cuba's energy future. The Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo has escalated into the fastest-growing epidemic in the history of the disease, prompting urgent responses from health organizations worldwide. This alarming situation has emerged in a region already burdened by conflict, poverty, and a fragile healthcare system. The rapid transmission of the virus, which has claimed numerous lives, is raising alarm bells among health officials and local communities alike. Health authorities are mobilizing to provide essential resources, including vaccines and medical personnel, while emphasizing the critical role of community engagement in controlling the spread. The implications of this outbreak extend beyond public health. It threatens to destabilize a region already grappling with socioeconomic challenges. Furthermore, the potential for the virus to cross borders adds urgency to international responses. As containment efforts ramp up, the focus will be on innovative strategies to reach affected populations. The upcoming weeks will be crucial in determining whether these interventions can effectively curb the outbreak and protect vulnerable communities. A tragic fire at a live music pub in Bangkok has claimed the lives of 32 individuals, with authorities now investigating the incident for potential negligence. The explosive fire broke out during a performance, leading to chaos and panic as patrons attempted to escape. Eyewitnesses described horrifying scenes as flames engulfed the venue, trapping many inside. This incident highlights ongoing concerns regarding safety regulations in public venues, particularly those hosting large crowds. Over the past few years, Thailand has faced scrutiny over its enforcement of safety codes, especially in entertainment establishments. Investigators are examining whether proper fire safety measures were in place and if emergency protocols were followed. As the community mourns, families of the victims are demanding justice and better safety protocols to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Moving forward, it is imperative that local authorities take decisive action to enforce stricter safety regulations to protect patrons and restore public confidence in entertainment venues across the country. A new chapter in international trade has begun as the India-Britain Trade Pact officially came into effect this week. This comprehensive agreement aims to reduce tariffs on thousands of goods, marking a significant milestone in the bilateral relationship between the two nations. The pact is particularly notable as it represents the fastest implementation in the history of UK trade agreements, underscoring the urgency to bolster economic ties in a post-Brexit landscape. Historically, India and the UK have shared strong cultural and economic connections, but this deal aims to deepen that bond significantly. Analysts anticipate that the agreement will foster substantial growth in trade and investment opportunities, particularly in sectors like technology, textiles, and pharmaceuticals. Furthermore, it enhances mutual access for professionals and services, allowing for a smoother exchange of talent and expertise. As businesses and consumers begin to feel the effects of this deal, it could reshape the economic landscape in both countries. Looking ahead, the success of this partnership may serve as a blueprint for future trade agreements between nations. In a strategic move to bolster defense capabilities, the European Union and Ukraine have announced a groundbreaking drone deal. This agreement aims to combine Ukraine's battlefield experience with Europe's advanced industrial capacity to significantly enhance drone production. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen emphasized that this partnership is crucial for scaling up production to meet the urgent needs arising from the ongoing conflict with Russia. The collaboration signifies a united front among European nations, illustrating their commitment to supporting Ukraine amid relentless military aggression. Historically, Ukraine has relied on various defense partnerships, but this deal marks a notable shift toward deeper integration with the EU's defense infrastructure. The implications of this partnership extend beyond immediate military needs, as it could strengthen Europe's overall security posture against external threats. Analysts believe that successful implementation of this initiative could reshape the dynamics of the conflict and pave the way for future military collaborations. As production ramps up, the effectiveness of these drones will be closely monitored on the battlefield, potentially altering the course of the war. The recent escalation in the Strait of Hormuz has had a devastating human toll, with new reports revealing that a majority of the victims of the latest attacks are Indian nationals. Specifically, 7 of the 16 sailors killed were Indians, highlighting the tragic consequences of this conflict on global trade workers. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical maritime choke point through which approximately 20% of the world's oil passes. This statistic underscores the often overlooked human cost of geopolitical tensions, particularly for those who work in high-risk maritime environments. Families are mourning the loss of loved ones who were simply fulfilling their duties at sea, caught in the crossfire of international hostilities. The ongoing conflict raises serious questions about the safety and security of maritime operations in conflict zones, as shipping companies face increasing risks. This situation calls for greater international efforts to protect civilians and workers from the fallout of such escalated military actions. As tensions persist, the plight of these workers and their families must remain a priority for the global community, prompting urgent discussions on maritime safety protocols and conflict resolution strategies. The situation in the Middle East has escalated dramatically as open war reignites between the United States and Iran. Following a series of Iranian attacks on U.S. military sites and civilian shipping, the U.S. has responded with renewed military action. The Iranian government has confirmed its attacks on 2 oil tankers, resulting in severe disruptions in global shipping and heightened tensions in the region. This resurgence of hostilities is rooted in long-standing grievances, including Iran's nuclear ambitions and U.S. sanctions that have crippled its economy. The U.S. Navy has reimposed a strict naval blockade to prevent further Iranian aggression, intensifying the standoff. This blockade has global ramifications, affecting oil prices and disrupting international trade routes crucial for economic stability. The Strait of Hormuz serves as a critical choke point for nearly a fifth of the world's oil supply, making any conflict there particularly concerning for global markets. The international community faces the urgent challenge of addressing the humanitarian and economic fallout from this renewed conflict. As military posturing continues, analysts warn of a potential wider conflict that could engulf neighboring countries. Diplomatic efforts must be prioritized to de-escalate tensions and prevent a catastrophic war in the region. In a significant escalation of hostilities, President Donald Trump has ordered a new wave of strikes against Iran, targeting critical infrastructure, including bridges and power plants. This military action comes amid stalled diplomatic negotiations that have failed to yield meaningful results. Central Command confirmed that recent attacks have successfully degraded Iran's capabilities to threaten commercial shipping in the region, highlighting the U.S. commitment to safeguarding vital trade routes. These developments follow a series of aggressive actions by Iran, which have included attacks on oil tankers and U.S. military installations, raising alarm among international stakeholders. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global oil shipments, is now at a boiling point, with potential repercussions for global energy security. As oil prices surge, analysts warn that the ongoing military engagement could lead to wider regional instability, potentially drawing in allies and adversaries alike. The geopolitical landscape is becoming increasingly complex, with nations reassessing their positions in light of U.S. actions. As tensions escalate, the focus will shift to whether diplomatic efforts can effectively de-escalate the situation. The upcoming weeks will be critical as both sides navigate this precarious moment, with the possibility of further military action looming large on the horizon. Thank you for watching. Which story shocked you the most today? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.